Hello, future educators. Welcome to another Social Studies Majorship Review session. For today, we'll focus on an essential aspect of our field, which is research in social studies. As future teachers, understanding historical events, social phenomena, and policy making is very crucial for us. So, this session will test your knowledge through 20 multiple choice questions, in each with rationalization. So let's begin. Number one, which of the following is the first step in the research process? Letter A, data collection. Letter B, writing the research report. Letter C, analyzing data. Or letter D, formulating a research problem. Okay, the best answer, of course, is letter D. Formulating a research problem is the first step as it defines the focus and objectives of the study. So, for data collection, it comes after the research design is determined. Uh, for analyzing the data, this happens after data has been gathered, and for writing the report is one of the final steps in research. So, letter D is the best answer. Number two, what is the main purpose of a literature review in research? Letter A, to summarize all existing studies. Letter B, to justify the significance of the study and identify research gaps. Letter C, to list all the books and articles used in the research. Or letter D, to collect numerical data for the statistical analysis. Okay, the best answer is letter B. A literature review helps researchers understand previous studies, justify their research, and find research gaps that their study can address. So, letter B is the best answer. For letter A, this is incorrect because while summarizing studies is part of a literature review, its primary role is to identify research gaps and justify the study. For letter C, a literature review is not just a list, it critically analyzes previous researches. For letter D, collecting numerical data is related to data collection, not literature review. Number 3. Which research method is most suitable for studying cause and effect relationships? Letter A, experimental research. Letter B, case study. Letter C, ethnographic research. Or letter D, historical research. The correct answer is letter A. Experimental research manipulates variables to determine the cause and effect relationships. Again, experimental research or cause and effect, manipulation of cause and effect relationship. Now for case studies focus on in-depth analysis but do not establish causation or cause and effect relationship. Ethnographic research studies cultural groups but does not test cause and effect relationships. Historical research, from the word history, this examines past events rather than cause and effect relationships. So letter A is the best answer. Number 4. In qualitative research, data is typically collected using letter A, surveys and questionnaires. Letter B, experiments. Letter C, interviews and observations. Or letter D, statistical software. The correct answer is letter C. We are talking about qualitative research. And in qualitative research, this focuses on non-numerical data, often gathered through interviews and observations. So letter C is the best answer. For letter A, surveys and questionnaires are more commonly used in quantitative research. For letter B, experiments are associated with quantitative research and hypothesis testing. And for letter D, statistical software is used for analyzing quantitative data. So the rest of the choices are for quantitative research. Only letter C is the correct answer. Number 5, a researcher wants to study how social media influences political opinions. Which research design is most appropriate? Letter A, correlational research. Letter B, experimental research. Letter C, historical research. Or letter D, narrative research. The best answer is letter A, correlational research. Correlational research examines the relationship between two variables, such as this one on the stem of the question. We have social media use and political opinions. So that's why correlation we use correlational research to examine the relationship of that variables. For letter B, experimental research, this is incorrect because experimental researches test causation, but political opinions are difficult to manipulate in an experiment. Letter C, historical research focuses on past events rather than current social influences. And for letter D, narrative research is used to collect personal life stories rather than studying patterns across populations. So correlational research is the best answer. Number 6. Which of the following is a primary source in social research? Letter A, a textbook summarizing historical events. Letter B, a newspaper article analyzing past elections. Letter C, a government census report. Or letter D, a research paper reviewing previous studies. Okay, a government census report is a direct source of raw data collected from for public use, making it primary source. So primary source in social research. So we have government consensus report. Now, for letter A, textbooks. Textbooks summarize and interpret information, making them secondary sources, not primary sources. Newspaper articles analyzes past. A newspaper article that analyzes past elections is also a secondary source because it interprets existing data. For letter D, a research paper about previous studies or reviewing of previous studies is a secondary source because it does not present original data. And for this question, we are looking for the primary source, so letter C is the best answer. Number 7. What is a major limitation of qualitative research? Letter A. It does not provide deep insights into human behavior. Letter B. It is difficult to generalize findings to a larger population. Letter C. It relies too much on statistical analysis. Or letter D. It does not involve participant interactions. The best answer is letter B. Since qualitative research focuses on small samples and in-depth analysis, its findings may not be applicable to a wider population. So that's the major limitation for qualitative research. For letter A, this is incorrect because qualitative research actually provides deep insights into human behavior. For letter C, it does not rely on statistical analysis. That is a characteristic of quantitative research. Statistical analysis is for quantitative researches. And for letter D, participant interaction is common in qualitative research through interviews and observations. Number 8. Which of the following best describes the difference between reliability and validity in research? Letter A, reliability refers to consistency, while validity refers to accuracy. Letter B, reliability measures accuracy, while validity ensures repeatability. Letter C, reliability is subjective, while validity is objective. Or letter D, reliability is only relevant in qualitative research. Correct answer is letter A. Reliability refers to consistency, while validity refers to accuracy because reliability ensures that the results are consistent over time, while validity ensures that the research measures what it is supposed to measure. That's the best answer. For letter B, this is incorrect because validity is about accuracy, not repeatability. For letter C, both reliability and validity are objective concerns in research. For letter D, reliability is essential in both qualitative and quantitative research. Number 9, a researcher finds a strong correlation of 0.85 between income level and political participation. What can be concluded from this finding? Letter A, higher income causes increased political participation. Letter B, income level and political participation are related, but causality is not established. Letter C, the study must have an experimental design. Or letter D, political participation directly determines income level. Okay, the best answer is letter B. Income level and political participation are related, but causality is not established. Correlation shows a relationship between two variables, but does not prove that one causes the other. So letter B is the best answer. For letter A, correlation does not imply causation. External factors might influence both variables. For letter C, the presence of correlation does not mean the study used an experimental design. For letter D, the direction of causation cannot be determined solely from correlation. That's why letter B is the best answer. Number 10, a researcher wants to investigate how colonial history affects present-day economic structures in a country. Which research method is most appropriate? Letter A, cross-sectional survey. Letter B, longitudinal study. Letter C, historical research. Or letter D, experimental research. The best answer is letter C. Historical research examines past events and their impact on present conditions. Again, we are talking about investigating how colonial history affects present-day economic structures. Letter C is the best answer. Now let's discuss the other choices. Cross-sectional survey captures data at a single point in time but does not explore historical influence. Longitudinal study observes changes over time but is more suited for studying trends rather than historical causes. For experimental research, it is not appropriate for studying historical influences. So letter C is the best answer. Number 11. Which of the following is a major ethical concern in social research? Letter A, using secondary sources instead of primary sources. Letter B, conducting research without a clear hypothesis. Letter C, collecting personal data without informed consent. Or letter D, using statistical software for data analysis. The best answer is letter C. We are talking about major ethical concern and informed consent. is a fundamental ethical principle in research to ensure participants' rights in privacy. Letter C is the best answer. For letter A, using secondary sources is a common practice, not an ethical issue. Letter B, some research is exploratory and does not require a hypothesis. Letter D, using statistical software is a standard research practice. Letter C is the best answer. Number 12. Which of the following research approaches is most appropriate for understanding the lived experiences of marginalized groups? Letter A. Quantitative survey research. Letter B. Ethnographic research. Letter C. Laboratory experiments. Or letter D. Meta-analysis. Ethnographic research is the correct answer because ethnographic research provides an in-depth understanding of people's lived experiences by immersing in their social environment. Ethnographic research, or you can understand their experiences by living with them. Now, for letter A, surveys provide broad data but may not capture deep personal experiences. For letter C, laboratory experiments are artificial and not suitable for studying lived experiences. Meta-analysis combines existing studies but does not provide direct engagement with participants. Letter B is the best answer. Number 13, a researcher is testing whether gender influences leadership effectiveness in political organizations. What is the independent variable in this study? Letter A, leadership effectiveness. Letter B, political organizations. Letter C, gender. Or letter D, researcher bias. Okay, the independent variable for this study or for this statement is gender because the independent variable is the factor manipulated or categorized to observe its effect on another variable. And in this case, the other variable is leadership effectiveness. Okay, so for leadership effectiveness, it is the dependent variable because it is being measured. And for political organizations, it is in the context, but it's not the manipulated factor. And for letter D, research bias is an extraneous factor, but it's not a variable being tested. So letter C is the best answer. Number 14. A study finds that students who attend more study sessions perform better on exams. Which of the following is a potential confounding variable in this research? Letter A, a number of study sessions. Letter B, the student's prior knowledge. Letter C, the exam score. Or letter D, the researcher's hypothesis. The best answer is letter B. Prior knowledge could influence both the number of study sessions attended and exam performance, making it a confounding variable. What do we mean by confounding variable? A confounding variable is um, it is an unmeasured third variable that influences both the supposed cause and the supposed effect. Again, unmeasured. So for this case, the student's prior knowledge is the confounding variable. Now let's discuss the other choices. For letter A, the number of study sessions is the independent variable. For letter C, the exam score is the dependent variable or it's the effect. And for letter D, the researcher's hypothesis is unrelated to confounding variables. So letter B is the best answer. Number 15. A researcher is concerned about the Hawthorne effect in an observational study. What does this mean? Letter A. Participants behave differently because they know they are being observed. Letter B. The researchers influences the study results through bias. Letter C. The sample size is too small to produce reliable conclusions. Or letter D. Ethical concerns about participant safety arise. The best answer is letter A. Um, we all know that Hawthorne effect occurs when people after their behavior because um, because they are aware that they are being studied, or the people may change their behavior, or they may behave differently because they know that they are being observed. That is Hawthorne effect. Now for letter B, um, researcher bias is a separate issue from Hawthorne effect. And for letter C, small sample sizes affect reliability but are unrelated to this effect. And for letter D, ethical concerns are important but are not what the Hawthorne effect describes. So letter A is the best answer. Number 16. In studying the long-term effects of colonization on indigenous governance structures, which research approach would best capture the complexity of historical and cultural influences? Letter A. Case study analysis. Letter B. Phenomenological research. Letter C. Structural equation modeling. Or letter D. Critical discourse analysis. The best answer is letter D. Critical discourse analysis examines how power, ideology, and historical narratives shape governance structures, making it ideal for studying post-colonial impacts. Again, the answer is letter D. Now let's discuss case study analysis again. Case studies provide in-depth analysis, but may lack broader theoretical critique. For letter B, phenomenological research focuses on lived experiences rather than structured and historical analysis. For letter C, structural equation modeling is quantitative and does not capture historical discourse. Number 17. A researcher studying economic inequality in urban communities finds that wealth distribution varies significantly across districts due to historical zoning policies. This research most likely employs which theoretical framework? Letter A. Functionalism, letter B. Rational choice theory, letter C. Conflict theory, or letter D. Symbolic interactionism. The best answer is letter C, conflict theory. Conflict theory explains inequality as a product of power structures, such as historical zoning policies that maintain economic disparities. Now, for letter A, functionalism views social structures as contributing to stability, not systematic inequality. Rational choice theory focuses on individual decision-making rather than systematic factors. And for letter D, symbolic interactionism examines interpersonal meanings rather than structural inequality. The letter C is the best answer. Number 18. In social research, an ecological fallacy occurs when letter A, an individual level conclusion is applied to a group. Letter B, a group level pattern is incorrectly attributed to individuals. Letter C, a researcher assumes correlation equals causation. Or letter D, the sample size is too small to generalize findings. The best answer is letter B. A group level pattern is incorrectly attributed to individuals. Um, and the ecological fallacy occurs when findings about a group are mistakenly assumed to apply to individuals. Like, for example, cities with high crime rates vote for stricter laws. It's mistakenly assumed to apply to individuals, like a resident of a high crime city must support stricter laws, like that. Okay, so letter B is the best answer. Now let's discuss the other choices. Letter A, this one describes an individualistic fallacy, not an ecological one. Letter C, correlation causation errors are a different logical fallacy. Letter D, sample size issues affect statistical power but not specifically the ecological fallacy. Number 19, a researcher finds that national policies on land ownership disproportionately disadvantage indigenous communities, but public opinion surveys show that citizens are unaware of these effects. This discrepancy highlights which methodological challenge: letter A, the Matthew effect; letter B, the knowledge gap hypothesis; letter C, the paradox of tolerance; or letter D, the observer expectancy effect. The best answer is letter B. The knowledge gap hypothesis suggests that information is distributed unevenly across social groups, often reinforcing existing inequalities. Mhm. Now let's discuss the other choices. First, the Matthew effect. This refers to the rich getting richer, not disparities in awareness. For paradox of tolerance, this relates to accepting intolerant beliefs, not knowledge distribution. For letter D, the observer expectancy effect concerns bias in data collection, not disparities in knowledge. Letter B is the best answer. Last number 20. A historian analyzing Spanish colonial archives notices that reports on indigenous resistance are heavily biased towards portraying rebels as criminals. To correct this, the researcher employs letter A, intercoder reliability testing; letter B, source triangulation; letter C, content analysis; or letter D, positivist methodology. The best answer is letter B, source triangulation. This involves using multiple choices, such as indigenous oral histories, alternative documents, like that, to challenge biases in a single account. Letter B is the best answer. Now, let's discuss the other choices. Interrogator reliability test, consistency among researchers, not source bias. For letter C, content analysis categorizes themes in text but does not necessarily correct biases. Letter D, positivist methodology prioritizes objective measurement but does not address historical bias. Letter B is the best answer. And that's it for our research in social studies review. Comment your scores below and let me know if you like more research related content. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you won't miss future review videos. This is Teacher Art reminding you, study hard, because by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. See you in our next session, future top notchers. Bye bye.